How's it going, everyone? I'm Dono, and this is How to Happy. In this video, we're going to be talking about the difference between goals and habits. Knowing the difference between a goal and a habit can help you break down how you're going to frame your work and how you get to different types of accomplishments. A lot of people have goals and habits kind of mixed together in their minds, and this leads them to try strategies that aren't super effective for doing what they want to do. So let's go into what a goal and a habit are. A goal is something that you want to complete that has a very specific timeline and criteria for completion. So with a goal, you should know yes or no whether you have achieved it. So for example, a goal might be lose 10 pounds in 30 days. At the end of that 30 days, you will know yes or no if you've accomplished your goal. Goals can be broken down into really specific steps, and once you've completed all the steps, then your goal should be completed. A habit, on the other hand, is something that you do so frequently that it's become just a natural tendency. It's something that you do all or most of the time automatically without really thinking about it. Habits are an ongoing process in your life. So if you compare it, with the same weight loss type example, a habit would be eating healthy. When you're creating a new habit, it's something that you have to work at regularly, often every single day. And then over time, it gets a little bit easier to continue doing that thing. But there's never a point with a habit where it's complete. It's something that you continuously work at because it's a new routine or activity or tendency that you want to develop. The way I frame it in my mind is the main difference between a goal and a habit is the length of time that you want to participate in the action. They both have a lot of things in common. They have, alignment with your values, something that you want to complete, something that should be specific and measurable. All those things apply, but the difference is the period of time over which you want to do them. Writing a book is a little bit different than committing to writing every day. One is a goal and one is a habit. Before starting a goal or working on a new habit, you need to really reflect on your values and figure out exactly what it is that you want to do. Let's revisit the weight loss example and say that you want to lose 10 pounds. In order to lose 10 pounds, you get yourself a diet, you get a workout routine, you follow them religiously, and at the end of, a month, you've lost 10 pounds. You feel super good and you're proud of yourself, but before long, the weight starts coming back. And then you're frustrated and you don't really know why, but you know how to, set a goal to lose weight. So you get back on the diet, you get back on the workout plan, and you start doing that. That cycle just keeps happening over and over and over again. But why is it happening? The problem is if you want to keep the weight off, you can't just set a goal because that's not conducive to being healthy. To continue being healthy, you have to change your habits. You can't just abandon everything you're doing to keep the weight off after you've got the weight off and go back to what you were doing, because what you were doing is how you got the weight in the first place. So if what you're hoping to achieve is something like that, like losing 10 pounds permanently, you need to commit to forming new habits so that you can continue to achieve that. Now let's switch gears and say instead that you have a goal of wanting to write a book. Well, if you just want to write a book, you don't necessarily have to write every day. You can just write, every once in a while when you have free time, or you can write just when you feel like it. But basically, as long as you continue working on it and knocking out those steps, eventually your goal is going to be done. Once the book's complete, you don't have to keep writing. You don't need a habit. You don't need this ongoing process. It's just a one-off scenario where you just want to complete a book. Now, to complete that book, you might start working on a habit of writing regularly, but you don't have to do it in order to accomplish the goal. I know this is a pretty simple framework, but I do think it is useful every once in a while as you structure things that you want to accomplish. You have to think about kind of the timeline over which you want to achieve something. If you don't, you can end up in a cycle like I talked about with, you're trying to lose weight, then you're back to what you're doing, then you try to lose weight, then you're back to what you're doing, because you just keep setting goals instead of attacking the habits. Vice versa, you could try to build up this habit of writing every day, but if all you want to do is finish a book, then you may not have to really build a super strong habit because it's not aligned with what you're trying to achieve and what your values dictate to you. All right, let's move on to the exercise. The exercise today has 3 parts. The first one is identify a goal you're working on, identify a habit you're working on, And then are your goal and habit reflective of what you actually want to accomplish? This part's super important. Again, are you setting these goals and habits in a way that is actually helping you achieve what you want to achieve? That's the real question. That's all I've got for this video. As always, feel free to leave comments, questions, topics you want me to cover down in the box below, and I will see you next time. You can check out more content at howtohappy.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos. We've also got a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook that you can check out. Reflect, take action, and enjoy life. See you next time.